Wake up! Twice a month on very, very early and Saturday morning, because India time is 10 and a half hours different with us. Once or twice a month, I do a Zoom session with about 450 religious sisters in India. And the goal of this is to get them empowered, equipped, working together to break the cycles of poverty, especially the poverty that exists for junior high and high school girls. So yesterday was one of those Zoom sessions, and appropriately, because we're entering into Holy Week, we talked about the Garden of Gethsemane. The Garden of Gethsemane, think of all the things that Jesus did there, right? It was there that he embraced the will of the Father in his life. It was there that he gathered fervent in prayer. There he gathered with his early followers, the closest and the trusted of his companions, yes? So we have this wonderful reflection, and one of the young sisters, she's probably about 22 years old, at the end there was a time for comments and questions. She said, what really bothers her the most about the Garden of Gethsemane is when Jesus needed his followers the most, they were, what were they doing? Just like you are now. What were they doing? And she said, one of the problems in the church is very often we are like those followers and we are, and she said, we need to, what do we need to do? Wake up. We need to wake up. When Jesus needed them the most, they were sleeping. What do we need to do? What do we need to do? Say it like you mean it. There are three things that we need to do this week. The first is, what do we need to do? We need to wake up and use this week to remember all the things that Jesus did for us. His mercy is more. His forgiveness is more. His love is more. We see that on the cross as he embraced that cross for us. And this week, a really holy week, it should shake us and wake us up to be ever mindful of the promise of Jesus in our lives and how we are called then to live, to love, to serve. Here's the second thing. What do you got to do? He entrusts to those early followers and to us a vision, a very different vision, the vision of God's kingdom. It is a kingdom of justice and mercy, compassion and peace. And our world, if we wake up and notice, is definitely struggling and hurting and in need of that different vision. And that different vision is only going to come about if you and I. And thirdly, this week in our community, we will have wonderful, beautiful, prayerful opportunities. All different types of opportunities. Down at the grotto, like going to the garden. Here in church, all of us coming together to pray mightily for ourselves, for our families, and for our world. But unless we, those opportunities will just pass by. And she said, Father Bob, what bothers me the most is that when Jesus needed his followers, the closest of his followers the most, they were asleep. What do we need to do?